Nishmas Etta Basakum Masachas Eduyos Perek Gimel Mishna Yud Shloisha Dvarim Gamliel Machmer Kedivrei Beis Shammai. We find 3 times that Gamliel was Machmer in the Machlokes Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel. The first one is Ein Tovnin Esachamim Yom Tov L'Shabbos. You're not allowed to do hatmana, to cover up a hot food and to keep it warm on Yom Tov that's preceding a Shabbos. So this is a case where you would need Erev Tavshilin. So the Gemara asks, Mimanoshach. This mission is also in Beya, Perek Beis, and the Gemara is on Chaf Aleph on the Beis. The Gemara in Beya asks, Ida Anach Erev Tavshilin. If you put out an Erev Tavshilin, so my time in the Beis Shammai, why does Beis Shammai hold it's a problem? Ida Loy Anach Erev Tavshilin, and if there's no Erev Tavshilin, so my time in the Beis Hillel, why would Beis Hillel be matter? There's 3 terutzim in the Gemara. The last teretz is, Amar Abaya Kegoyin She'irav Lezeh, he made an Erev Tavshilin through afia, baking, bishul, and cooking, but he didn't do it for hatmana. So therefore, it's totally in a machlokes Beis Shammai Beis Hillel. Beis Shammai holds that you need to do an Erev Tavshilin in preparation for each thing separately. Afia for afia, bishul for bishul, and hatmana for hatmana. And Beis Hillel holds that no, it's good enough. If you did an Erev Tavshilin with afia and bishul, like we paskin, like you do an egg and a matzah, so now you could do all forms of hachana. The second machlokes is Rabbi Gamliel's machmer is ein zeikin es ha-menorah b'yantiv. Rabbi Gamliel holds that if a menorah fell, a metal menorah, you can't straighten back up and set it back up. So over here, the Gemara explains that Beis Shammai holds that the problem is yesh binyan b'kelim. There's an iser binyan, and Beis Hillel held there's no iser binyan because ein binyan v'stira b'kelim. The third machlokes, where Gamliel is machmer like Beis Shammai, is ein ofin pitin gritzen elarikikin. You're not allowed to bake pitin gritzen. So the maskanas haGemara is that this is talking about not on Pesach, on regular Yom Tov, nothing to do with the chash chimetz, and we're talking about a thick bread. So Rashi learns that it's a big bread, and therefore there's tirchi yisera, because it's going to last for the next day, and that was by Beis Shammai held it was a problem. Beis Hillel held that it's mutter because hapas nefe yofa k'shatan or mali. A pas is baked better when the oven is full. Taisus over there argues, and Taisus says that we're talking about pas meruba means that you're making large pieces of bread, and since the pieces of bread are so big, so now there's a chashash that asir lemebed yoser mitzerich yantif, that you're going to do more than you needed for yantif. And on that, Beis Hillel will hold that there is no such chashash. Mishna Yud. Oh, so the Mishnah continues. Sorry. Amar Gamliel mimeim shel Beis Abba lo yoifim pitin gritzen el rikikin. They taka didn't do this. He was machmer that it's also. Amar loy manasa the Beis Avicha shei machmir al atzman makil na Yisrael yisofim pitin gritzen v'chari. Your father was machmer, but for everyone else in Klal Yisrael it's mutter. Mishnah Yud Aleph afu amar shleisha dvarim lahakel. And Gamliel paskin in 3 things lahakel. The first one is mechabnim bein hamitais. You could clean in between the beds. So this is also the following Mishnah in Beya, and the Gemara is on Chav Beis on the Beis, and it's Mavur in the Bryce over there that we're talking about a Beis hamitais, which Rashi explains doesn't mean a bedroom. Mitais then meant that they ate on the mita, and it was actually more like a dining room. And the halacha was that you could sweep over there. The Chachamim over there held that it was aser because Ashvuye Gumas, because it was a chash that if you sweep, we're afraid they're going to flatten out the floors, and that would be aser on Shabbos. So therefore they said that you can't sweep on Shabbos. But in this small area, Bein Hamitais, we're makel that you are allowed to sweep according to Rabbi Gamliel. The second shita where Gamliel is makel, and the Chacham Maser is Menicher Hamugmer B'Yantif. You're allowed to put spices on top of the coals, and the Gemara comes out that this is dafka lahariach. If you're doing it legamer, which means that they would complete the begodim or kalim process by putting an odor into it, a reach yafa into it, and that would be aser because you're not doing it lahanos haguf, and therefore you don't have the heter of oichel nefesh on yantif. But if you're doing it lahariach, just to have a good smell, which is a hanos haguf, so that's similar to eichel nefesh, so that's where they argued, and Gamliel held that it's mutter. And lastly, Gamliel holds another thing is mutter is oisim gedi mikulas belele psachim. You're allowed to roast a goat on Leil Pesach with its feet and its bnei mayim hanging outside of it, the exact way they roasted the carbon Pesach, and there was no chash of people thinking that it was like eating kachim bachutz. However, the Chachamim aser this, they held that it's doime to achilas. People are going to say, if you could do this, and it's mutter lahakdish lahachal kachim bachutz, you're allowed to be makdish and to eat kachim bachutz. So therefore, they held not to do this.